Hello, baseball fans, and welcome to my ePortfolio. Thank you for visiting my portfolio. My name's Scott Lillis, and while I'm a huge baseball fan, don't worry if you're not. I'm the technology coach at the International School of Ulaanbaatar, and I'm also a MET student, that's the Masters of Educational Technology program at the University of British Columbia. This ePortfolio is the culminating project for ETC 590 and in turn for the MET program. I've created this portfolio to showcase and demonstrate my progression through the MET program. My ePortfolio is a running record of my development over the last 3 years, and as such it includes artifacts, reflections, goals, and further plans for educational technology exploration. This will serve as a place for me to reflect on my learning journey, develop new skills, and create a product to share with others. The intended audience for the ePortfolio are the members of my course, ETEC 590, and other members of the MET community, and other educators around the globe. This could potentially play a valuable role in my continued pursuit of international teaching positions as well, since it will help showcase my technology skills, knowledge, and ability to implement change and focus on my educational pedagogy and practice. I struggled for a while trying to come up with a metaphor that fully encapsulated my feelings about the program and the knowledge and understanding that helped transform and guide my teaching. After giving it some thought and continuing to think about the upcoming, now postponed baseball season, it occurred to me that my learning and growth in the program could be compared to baseball players progressing through the minor league system, working toward becoming a professional Major League Baseball player. Again, whether you're a baseball fan or not, I'll give you the Cole's Notes version of the minor league system so that you can understand the connection that drew me to the MET program. Every Major League Baseball team has its own system of teams that participate in various regional leagues in order to facilitate player development and create a chain focused on improving the skills and knowledge in order to field the most competitive team possible. All players in the system are drafted and/or signed by the professional club. Players typically start at the lowest or entry level, and as their skills develop and they show their worth, they would continue to move through the system, ideally reaching the top level. After reflecting on this baseball metaphor, I was convinced that my MET journey was very similar. Immediately following my acceptance into the program, I enrolled in the core courses so that I could start my journey with the foundational knowledge that would help me progress and continue in my learning journey. So, for the purposes of my ePortfolio, I've skipped some of the stages and started with Class A Advanced. So again, it's not the lowest level of professional baseball, but it is the first level that plays an entire baseball season, so it makes sense to start here. I've included some artifacts from my first courses in the program in this section, and this is where I was able to test my beliefs and acquire new ones. Once I was kind of comfortable with that, I've added Double A. So again, have my feet wet, struggled with my academic research and writing, something I hadn't done in over a decade. It was time to adapt to the learning and reshape and reform my ideas. So some of the artifacts here, some are still from the core courses, and now I've started to also choose my own path and included some artifacts from my elective courses as well. My next section, so Triple A, now this is one step below Major League Baseball. So now that I was over halfway through the MET program, I felt that I was refining my ideas, my skills, and my practices. Again, there's a lot of collaboration here, so I was building a lot of skills that way and sharing and forming knowledge with my peers. The final section for my metaphor is Major League Baseball. So this is where I really put my pedagogy into practice and plan to continue to incorporate the knowledge that I've gained and to continue to develop as a teacher, coach, leader, and colleague. So just because I've attained the highest level, that certainly doesn't mean my learning is over. I need to continue to grow as an educator and just as a person as well. I think that's important, and as a lifelong learner, it's something that I really want to do. As a tech leader at my school, I have implemented the sections framework that I learned back in ETEC 524, and we're using this to help teachers and administrators select technology tools. I've also been able to implement some of the knowledge about education theories and how students learn, and focus my thoughts on screen time and tech usage, especially for K-12 students in our school's online learning plan, which has been in place since the end of January and is still ongoing now for the foreseeable future. Overall, I'm quite happy with how my ePortfolio has turned out. I chose to use Weebly to set it up. I did this for a couple of reasons. One being it's free, and two, I had used it before in a couple of other MET courses, so I knew how to use it already. It's very intuitive. Tools are along the side. You can easily drag and drop and easily build your website that way. I also really appreciated the feedback that I received after submitting my first draft, because I had done the entire ePortfolio and I knew that I had not linked any of my artifacts to my personal goals. I just wasn't sure how. So the simple suggestion of creating a legend, which then I did so on my front homepage, choosing to use a baseball glove, a baseball hat, and an actual baseball to represent my goals, and then put those symbols on each of the artifacts, really helped link that and gave that connection, and also just further link the idea of incorporating this baseball metaphor that I had used throughout my ePortfolio. So thank you very much for that. Creating the ePortfolio has really forced me to take a step back and look at my overall learning throughout my MET journey. It's really been a fantastic practice to kind of individually take a look at each course and try to figure out what did I learn from that, what am I taking away from that, and what am I using in practice. And I'm happy to say certainly a number of things for just about every class.